In this video, we're going to talk about what do you need in order to write the equation of a line. Make sure that you guys are watching this video and filling out the worksheet that goes with it. You will submit the worksheet after watching the video and finishing the worksheet, of course. So what are our three options? You can write the equation of a line if you're given the slope and the y-intercept. That's the most direct option that we have. If we have both the slope and the y-intercept, we can plug them into our equation of a line, which is y equals mx plus b, pretty quickly. You can also write the equation of a line if you're given the point and the slope. You'll have to find the y-intercept first, but then you can plug them into your y equals mx plus b. And lastly, you can find the equation of a line if you're just given 2 points. In this video, we're going to go through each one of those options. So, in our first example, write an equation in slope-intercept form of the line with a slope of 2, or negative 2, and a y-intercept of 4. Okay, slope's negative 2, y-intercept's 4. Our equation of a line is y equals mx plus b, right? So I'm just going to start by writing that down. Y equals mx plus b. The m is the slope. We've talked about that recently. And the b is the y-intercept. Well, in this problem, we're given the slope, we're given the y-intercept. All we have to do is plug them in. Y equals, the slope's negative 2, so I plug it in place of the m, plus the y-intercept's 4, so I plug it in place of the b. This is what we're looking for. That's the equation of the line. If I graphed this line, it would start at 4, and it would go down to and over 1. Okay, let's try another example here. In this example, it says write an equation in point-slope form of the line with a slope of negative 3/4 that contains the point 8, 1. So let's make sure we understand how they're different. The first one, we were given the slope and the y-intercept. For this one, we have the slope and we have a point that's on the line, but we do not have the y-intercept. Okay? So what I'm going to have to do is figure out what the y-intercept is. Now here it says to use point-slope form. You may recall that from last year. That was y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I don't like memorizing more equations, so I'm actually just going to cancel that one off. And I'm going to show you that we can actually use y equals mx plus b to figure out the b. Now, if you want to do what you did last year, if this is what you did, go for it. Otherwise, take a look and see how I find the b value using slope-intercept form. So here's the equation of our line. It's y equals mx plus b, right? Well, we have the m value. The m can be replaced with a negative 3/4 because that's the slope. But I don't have the b, so I'm actually going to use this point. And watch how I use this point to figure out my b value. I'm going to plug this in. So the coordinate 8, 1 represents an x of 8 and a 1 of y. So I'm going to take the 1 and I'm going to plug it in for the y. I'm going to take the 8 and plug it in for the x. And I've already plugged in the slope for m. So what is this going to look like? 1 equals negative 3/4 times 8 plus b. Now check this out. I've plugged everything in. I still have my b variable left. If I solve this equation, I'm going to find the value of b. So let's try that. So I'm going to multiply negative 3/4 and 8. If you need to, use a calculator. I'm just going to multiply the numerators and then divide by 4. Negative 3 times 8 is negative 24. Negative 24 divided by 4 is going to give us negative 6. Okay, keep solving for b. Add 6 to both sides. 1 plus 6 is 7. So my b value is 7. Now remember, I'm trying to write the equation of a line. I'm not just trying to find b. I found b so that I can write my equation. my final equation is y equals the slope, just like we did in the last problem, right? The slope, negative 3/4 x plus the y-intercept, plus 7. So that's my equation. All right, let's have you guys try a couple of these, and then I'll put some answers up, and then we'll go down to the next type. Pause the video now, go put these down on the worksheet, the ones that we've done, and then I want you guys to try numbers 1 through 4, and then come back. I've completed 1 through 4. Hopefully you've had opportunity to go and check those. Take a look at my answers, compare them with yours. Those ones were like example 1 up top. Okay, so pretty straightforward. They had the M and the B, you just had to plug them in. Now I want you guys to try questions 5 through 8. Please try those before seeing the answers, okay? Pause the video. 5 through 8 are like example 2 up top. Go ahead and do that now. If you need to take a look at my work, if you're not getting the same answer, you can pause the video and see if you can just go through those steps that I've done. Number 7, I actually noticed that if the x is the 0, then this is the y-intercept right here. So 1/3 has to be the y-intercept. So even though it doesn't look like it's giving you the y-intercept, technically it is. The y-intercept is 1/3. So I have y equals the slope, negative 5/3 x, plus the y-intercept of 1/3. Number 6, I had to plug the point in and the slope in. You can see my answer there. Number 7, I did the same thing. If it helps you to write things as decimals, you can. Otherwise, just keep the fraction and perform operations with fractions. You're encouraged to use a calculator if you need to. I'm going to do one more with number 8. I know that I told you to go through number 8, but I'm going to go through the steps on what I would do to do number 8. So to start, I would plug the point in and the slope in, and then solve for b. So when I plug the point in, negative 2 goes in place of the y. Negative 2 goes in place of the m. 4 goes in place of the x. Okay, let's solve for b. Add 8 to both sides. So I get b is equal to 6. What's my answer? Y equals whatever my slope is, negative 2, plus whatever my y-intercept is, 6. Okay. Number 9 is the same type, so you guys can pause and do number 9. And now we need to do number 10, and then you're going to have 11 and 12 to do on the back. So number 10 is a little different because I don't have the slope. But in the last lesson, we learned that we can find the slope of 2 points by finding the change in the y's over the change in the x's, right? So let's find the slope first and then see what's next. So if I find the slope, 3 minus 5 over 4 minus negative 2. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. Looks like my slope is negative 1/3. Okay, I guess I'm not going to box that, but that's my slope, negative 1/3. All right, now I want to figure out what the y-intercept is. So I have the slope right here, and I have 2 points. So I know it's going to go through both of those points. So what we get to do here is we actually get to pick a point. Pick the one that you want to use, and do the same thing you just did on 7 through 9. I'm going to go with the 4 and the 3 just because it's not negative. So I'm going to pick this point right here, and I'm going to plug it in to y equals mx plus b to figure out what my b value is. 3 equals negative 1/3 times 4 plus b. Let's solve that for b. 3 equals negative 4/3 plus b. Add 4/3 to the other side. If I add 4/3 to 3, 3 is the same thing as 9/3. 4 plus 9 is 13, so this is going to be 13/3. Once again, if you're not comfortable with fractions, you're okay to use a decimal for now, but I'm going to keep it as a fraction. So what's my final answer here? Final answer is y equals -1/3 x plus 13/3. Okay, let's do one more of those. I'm gonna do number 12 with you and let you do number 11. So number 12, let's find the slope. What's my change in y's and change in x's? -2 minus 5 over 4 minus 4. Okay, so this one, I'm going to get a -7 over 0, which is actually undefined because you can't divide by 0. Whenever you have an undefined, it means it's a vertical line. So let's think about what this would look like. If I had a graph and I graphed my points, 4, 5 would be like here. 4, -2 would be right here. When you have a vertical line, as we do here, then the equation of that line is just going to be whatever x is equal to. In this case, x is equal to 4. So x is always 4. So this is a tricky one. The line would be x equals 4 because that's the vertical line here, okay? This is more of a challenge question, but if you were able to do that, that'd be awesome. If not, no big deal. Okay, you guys try number 11. Once you've tried number 11, I'm going to have you guys do your best on... Actually, let's do this. You do number 11, and then I'll see if I can fit in the next example. So pause the video, do 11, and then come back. Okay, at this time you should have already done number 11. We're going to take a look at the write the equations to solve problems, many real-world situations here. It says, Donna offers computer service to small companies in her city. She charges $55 per month to maintain a website and $45 per hour for each service call. Write an equation to represent the total monthly cost C for maintaining a website and for H hours of service. So what I did is I put my monthly fee at the end, 55, because this is representing just 1 month, right? And then my hourly fee is going to be dependent on how many hours. I know it's 45 per hour, but depending on how many hours is going to affect my cost, and my cost is C. So there's my equation, okay? So we got the equation there. We've completed that task. Part B says Donna may change her cost to represent them by the equation C equals 25H plus 125. 125 is the fixed monthly fee, and now it's $25 per hour. Compare her new plan to the old one if a company has 5.5 hours of service calls. Under which plan would Donna earn more? Okay, so here's our hours. Here's our hours. We're going to plug that in for H and see which one's going to give Donna the most money. C is equal to 45 times 5.5 plus 55. Evaluate that one and see how much she's getting here. And then do the same thing. C is equal to 25 times 5.5 plus 125. Now you can make a comparison. Go ahead and evaluate those. I'm running out of time. It shuts down at 15 minutes. So you can do that part and then go ahead and finish up with the last few questions. The expectation is this worksheet should be done before you get this submitted. I've allotted about 40 minutes for this worksheet. If you have any questions, send me an email. Once this is done, go ahead and attempt the quizzes game, and that should take you about 20 minutes. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found this helpful.